Seneca spent his life writing about restraint, simplicity, and the dangers of power. He warned that ambition corrupts judgment and that wealth creates false security. Yet for most of his life, he lived at the very center of imperial power, surrounded by wealth, influence, and danger. In the end, the lessons he taught would be tested against the life he actually lived. Lucius Annaeus Seneca was born in Hispania and raised in Rome, where he was educated in rhetoric and philosophy. From an early age, he was drawn to Stoicism, a school of thought that emphasized self-control, rational judgment, and inner freedom. Stoic philosophers believed that external circumstances could not harm a person who mastered their own reactions. Seneca's talents brought him success. He became a skilled orator, a respected intellectual, and eventually a senator. But success in Rome was never neutral. Visibility invited envy, and influence attracted suspicion. The closer one stood to power, the more dangerous life became. His first major encounter with imperial authority ended badly. Under Emperor Caligula, Seneca's popularity made him a target. According to later accounts, Caligula ordered Seneca's execution, only to be persuaded that illness would kill him soon enough. Seneca survived, but the message was clear. In Rome, survival depended less on virtue than on proximity to favor. Later, under Emperor Claudius, Seneca was exiled to the island of Corsica, accused of adultery in a court intrigue. For 8 years, he lived far from Rome, writing philosophy and letters that reflected deeply on misfortune, exile, and the illusion of control. Publicly, he accepted his fate. Privately, he longed to return. His return came not through philosophy, but through politics. Agrippina, the wife of Claudius, recalled Seneca from exile to tutor her son, Nero. When Nero became emperor at the age of 16, Seneca became one of the most powerful men in Rome, serving as advisor and speechwriter to the young ruler. For a time, the arrangement appeared to work. Early in Nero's reign, policies were relatively moderate. Seneca believed he could guide the emperor toward restraint and reason. He attempted to balance philosophical ideals with political reality, persuading himself that influence from within was better than moral purity from the outside. But power changes people, and it changes systems. As Nero grew older, he grew more suspicious, more indulgent, and more cruel. The distance between Seneca's teachings and Nero's behavior widened. Acts of violence became harder to prevent. Court politics turned increasingly dangerous. Seneca tried to withdraw. He requested permission to retire from public life, offering to return much of his wealth to the emperor. Nero refused. Seneca remained trapped by the very influence he once believed he could control. His position made him too valuable to dismiss and too visible to escape. Over time, Seneca's immense wealth became a source of criticism. How could a Stoic preach simplicity while owning vast estates? Seneca defended himself by arguing that wealth itself was indifferent. Only attachment to it was harmful. But to many, the contradiction remained. In 65 CE, a conspiracy against Nero was uncovered. Whether Seneca was involved remains unclear, but his association with known conspirators was enough. Nero ordered Seneca to take his own life. The command was delivered calmly. As was customary, there would be no trial, no public defense. Seneca accepted the order without protest. He opened his veins and attempted to bleed to death, but his body, weakened by age, resisted. Poison was brought. When that failed, he was placed in a hot bath to hasten the end. Throughout the process, witnesses reported that he spoke calmly, offering philosophical reflections to those around him. His death became a final performance of Stoic composure. Whether it was genuine acceptance or practiced resolve is impossible to know. What is certain is that Seneca faced the end he had long written about, under the same system he had tried to influence and survive.